Hey guys, if you've been following my channel, you know that I'm on a hunt for a bigger boat, a liveaboard blue water kind of boat. And in an earlier episode, I went through the criteria and the thoughts that I have on this process, and it sounded something like this. Okay, so one of the things that I haven't talked to you about that much yet is the fact that I want to upgrade Alva to a bigger boat for my future liveaboard plans and, of course, world traveling that we all dream about. So I am looking into a bunch of different models.
What is he on about? Will he ever shut his mouth, I wonder?
Come on. All right. Some of the criteria is of course more important than others, and it will always be a compromise, but I'll get into that more underway. At this time I was pretty much set on an Oyster 39 in the UK, but that fell through because of Brexit. Then I found another one in Portugal, but the seller there decided he wanted to refit his boat before selling, and that made me lose interest. Instead of waiting for another Oyster 39, I started researching similar boats and found some interesting ones. So stay tuned for the full story. Last time on She Rules the Waves, you get to follow me and the boys on an exploration of an old Danish fort. Dark tunnels, spiderwebs, and all. This week, we go back in time to June of this year and travel all over Europe as the hunt for my future blue water liveaboard begins. The adventure has just started, so please check out all the social media and membership links in the description, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. In a couple of weeks, I'm flying down to look at some boats in the Mediterranean.
Ooh, I bet you're not bringing me your selfish idiot.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. So, when the European travel ban lifted in mid-June of 2021, I decided to go see 3 boats in a weekend. I managed to summon all of my logistics skills from my days as a tour manager and came up with this. Day 1, get up at 3:30, bike to the train station, take the train to Copenhagen Airport, 1 hour layover in Brussels on my way down to Marseille. Rent a car and drive an hour to Port-Louis de Rhône. Look at boat 1 and 2. Drive back to Marseille and jump on the plane to Rome. Drive 2.5 hours across the country to Pescara. Day 2, look at boat 3. Day 3, drive back to Rome. 4 hours layover in Frankfurt. On the way back to Copenhagen. Train back home. Easy peasy. Well, I am a night person. But this day I was up before the sun, and I was so tired I apparently couldn't even tell the photo button from the video button on my phone. But I managed to remember my passport and the fresh COVID test, so I made it to the airport and onto the plane. Morning, people. Here I am at Brussels airport in Belgium. Just landed. It's 8 a.m. and this is so far my 3rd country for the day. There's going to be 2 more before this long day is over. Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, France and Italy. And then I'll pop by Germany on my way back to Denmark and Sweden again on Saturday. So I'm here in the Brussels Airlines lounge for about an hour before my next flight go to Marseille in France, where I will look at 2 boats. This is very exciting. It's been so long since I traveled, and this is gonna be awesome. The south of France welcomed me with a very hot, grey and very windy day. A combination as Swedes are not that used to. Here's my little friend for the afternoon. I hope will take care of me. Alright, so my little Fiat 500 buddy here turned out to be convertible. Well, almost convertible, so that's nice. I'm gonna drive, it's about 30 degrees here. I'm gonna drive along the coast pretty much down to Pont-Louis-de-Rhône. I guess it's the pronunciation. So, alright, let's hope it goes well. Behind the gate to the marina area, I was a little taken away by the sheer amount of boats on the Hard. So many boats. And some in worse shape than others. All 3 boats I'm looking at this trip have encapsulated keels and ketch rigging. The sailability and blue water capacity is judged only on statistics and owner stories, but I'll check the rest of the criteria I set up as we go along. The first boat on my list was this Whitby 42, a ketch designed by the legendary Ted Brewer and built in Canada in 1978. Semi-long keel with the so-called Brewer bight in front. A very shoal draft of only 153 meters or 5 feet. It had an old Ford 80 horsepower engine with a fuel tank of about 700 liters, 180 gallons. The freshwater tanks holds about 1300 liters or 340 gallons. This particular boat was still Canadian flagged and had crossed the Atlantic at least once. Walking around on deck inspecting things, I saw that most of the necessary equipment was there, and even though a lot of the hardware was very old, most of it seemed to be in okay shape. The wooden details need a lot of love though, but in general the boat looked well taken care of on the outside. So, time to go inside. The inside was very roomy, but the weird layout of the galley, without a gimbal stove and just an ordinary AC refrigerator, would have to be totally redone. Great nav station / office, and interestingly enough an electric piano instead of the starboard settee. And on the port side of the saloon, the L-shaped settee would give enough space for a reflex heater next to the mast. The forward head was pretty spacious too, and had a cool solution with 2 doors, one directly from the forepeak. This is kind of hard to get a grasp on though, with all the stuff in here. All the cushion covers in the saloon seemed brand new, but I can't say that this would have been my first choice of fabric. Oh, so you walk down here and that actually, it's almost, you can almost stand in here, not really, but almost. It's pretty cool. Pretty large for an engine room, but chaotic, and not really what I would call a technical space. And then there's the aft cabin. Well, that's really 2 long side berths that they turned into kind of a double berth, so not perfect. But it is a roomy cabin with an entrance to the cockpit. The aft head. So this is where I would do my showering mostly, I guess. It's pretty nice, although it's not a separate shower. Yeah, so it's big compared to my 33 footer, but I could definitely see myself on a boat like this. Need a lot of work though, so well, I guess I have to figure out the numbers and see. The second boat was a Voaquier Amphora, built in France in 1979. A tad smaller, but pretty similar to the Oyster 39. Both designed by Holman & Pye, with a fin keel and a full skegged rudder. The draft is 1.8 meters or 6 feet. The engine is an original 50 horsepower Perkins. The fuel tank holds 250 liters or 66 gallons, but the fresh water capacity is only 350 liters or 92 gallons. This boat also had the necessary windlass, chains and other equipment I would need, but the standing rigging did not seem that well taken care of. I really like this open flat area. Flush deck, almost flush deck. Yeah, flush deck is cool, but all the woodwork was in horrible condition. And one weird feature was that the cockpit lazarette went straight down into the living quarters. Even though this boat is smaller than the Whitby, the inside was still pretty roomy. But this one also had new cushions in a fabric that would not have been my first choice. This boat also had a full-size V-berth, but only one head and shower.
This is also kind of hard to tell, but I guess it's about the same size, so there's no toilet and shower up here, of course. I would say this one is in much better condition on the inside, at least. Not that much that I have to rebuild right away. There's a walkway that we saw from above before. And here's the nav station, and there's also a walkway for the toilet. And there's actually standing room for me in here. That's kind of interesting. But the showering situation would not be ideal. The aft cabin, that would be my bed. This is actually very nice. So this is the walkway where you can actually see outside, so I guess I have to do something about that. But still, this is pretty nice. Here you can have even a washing machine in here, probably. Yeah. It's of course not as much as an engine room as it was in the other one. It's the old Perkins. Yeah. I could see myself living in this layout too, for sure. Well, upstairs there's a lot of woodwork to do. The rest of it seems pretty nice. Alright, so it's very windy. I'm not sure you can hear me now, but same thing here. Actually, I don't think this cockpit is that cramped. It's kind of roomy. I like it. I have a better view than the other one. It is smaller, of course. I mean, the entire boat is smaller. But still, I can see myself sailing around in this one. As I was leaving the yard to go back to the airport, I was actually feeling a little low. 2 boats near the upper limit on my budget and still not in better shape than this. Well, let's just say I did not have that much hope for the third and cheapest boat on my list. But that story will have to wait until next time. Your support is invaluable and we love to see your likes and comments. It really helps us reach more people. And if you want to become a member or patron, I will invite you even further into the adventure. But until next time, take care.